Pankaj,
I'm audible?
Dinesh Gupta, this side. Pankaj, Dinesh Gupta, this side. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Okay, let's start. My name is Pankaj Bhargav, and I'm the co-founder of Icronsoft and the host of today's webinar. So, originally, I am from Jammu, and I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all of you who generously helped us make this event come together to become a success. Director of ICT A.K. Srivastav and HOD CSC IT and President of IIC Cell Engineer Dinesh Gupta and other respected faculty members and participants. We couldn't have done it without you actually. So first of all, let me tell you about Icronsoft. Icronsoft is a startup company in software and edtech solutions, co-founded with IT engineer from J&K, Mr. Sandeep, Mr. Vipin, and I Pankaj, and other technical professionals. So before delaying any further, let me invite HOD CSC IT and President of IIC Cell, Engineer Dinesh Gupta, to please say a few words.
Thanks, Pankaj.
You're welcome.
And good morning to one and all present. I, Dinesh Gupta, feel honored and privileged to welcome all the dignitaries and students present in this session. Pankaj, I want to tell you about my group. Uh, the name of my group is, our group is Jambal Group of Educational Institutions. And under Jambal Group of Educational Institutions, we have three campuses.
Mhm.
Two campuses are in Jammu and one campus is in Punjab.
Okay.
And in Jammu, we have two campuses. One campus is situated at Purpu camp,
Okay.
Domana. And
Mhm.
we have another campus that is at Patoli, Guna Brahma Patoli. Uh,
Okay.
in Purpu campus, we have three institutes. We have three institutes, namely IECS, that is Institution of Engineering and Computer Sciences, which is offering 3 year engineering courses. And in the same campus, we have another college that is National College of Education, which is offering B.Ed courses. And in the same campus, we have third institute, namely Cambridge International School, which is from nursery to 12th. And in
Mhm.
the second campus, we have two colleges, namely IMS, that is Institute of Management Sciences, and Yogananda College of Engineering and Technology.
Okay.
The Institute of Management Sciences offering uh, 3 year courses and 3 year degree courses and 2 year postgraduate courses.
Mhm.
There are two departments, namely Department of Computer Science, which is offering BCA and MCA, and there is another department named as the Department of Management Sciences, which is offering BBA and MBA. All the courses are affiliated with Jammu University.
Okay.
And in that campus, we have Yogananda College of Engineering and Technology, which is also known as YCET. It is established in the year 2013. And we are offering 4 year engineering courses in computer engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and civil engineering.
Mhm.
In Punjab, we have Tavi Polytechnic College, which is offering 3 year polytechnic courses, Tavi Engineering College, which is offering 4 year engineering courses, and also we have Cambridge International School in Punjab also, which is offering the classes from nursery to 10th.
Okay.
Uh, this is all about the introduction of our group. Now over to Pankaj.
Thank you, Dinesh, for highlighting all the things and sharing your experience and all those stuff which will be relevant to the this webinar. So in today's webinar, we will focus on career in software development. So I would like to invite Mr. Vipin Verma, co-founder of Icronsoft, to carry on this webinar. So Vipin, I guess you are on mute.
Good morning, Director sir.
Yes, who is this?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Vipin, can we hear us? Vipin, I think you are on mute.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible, Pankaj?
Yes, yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Vipin Verma, and I'm co-founder of Ecronsoft Private Limited, senior software developer and corporate trainer. So basically, I'm having more than 7 years of experience working as a software developer in multinational companies, in Indian projects as well as overseas projects. And I'm having also experience of corporate training, more than 6 years to upgrade technical skills of corporate employees on various new technologies. This was a brief introduction about me. And firstly, I would like to thank Director of Yogananda College, Engineering and Technology, Dr. A.K. Srivastava sir, HOD CSEIT, President of IIC Cell Engineer Dinesh Gupta sir, for providing this opportunity to interact with you all. Okay, so I hope here max of the students are from 6th and 8th semester, as we discussed, Dinesh sir. Almost like you all guys have started hunting job because it's 6th semester and 8th semester, and you need to prepare yourself for the job, the current scenarios and all. So even the other semester guys, don't worry, you will get something good out of this session. I will try max which you can get from this session. So I know this is very important stage because after the 4 year of education, now the time is to prove your talent, to prove your technical skills, whatever you have learned in these 4 years, and then crack the first job interview. So completely understand all these things because even I gone through from the same path. As for today's presentation subject, we have taken career in software development. So most of our content will revolve around it. And also I would be happy to answer all your queries and doubts regarding software development, software industry, software industry culture, and whatsoever. Any question you have, we can cover in this. But one more thing, I would like to say, any doubt is not a small, big, or silly, because whichever doubt you have in your mind, that should be first of all cleared. Then only you can perform with your full capabilities. So yes, maybe due to some time restrictions, because we have to cover this in 1 hour, we got the time. So maybe I will not be able to cover everything. Anyways, you can write us on our email IDs will be provided so that our team will reply on all your queries. Guys, can somebody just tell me if I'm audible or any improvement you want? Should I be slow or fast? You can comment on the chat.
There's a open chat for everyone, and we can see there are 51 participants there. So that is open for everyone. Everyone can message there. So if anyone have any question, you have an option there, raise hand at the bottom of the screen. So you can raise that point, then the speaker will say. Thank you.
Okay, I will try to cover each and everything here in this given timestamp. But if any queries left, you can write us on contact@eventsoft. So fine. So this seminar has been designed by me, my team, including all the software IT experiences in development as well as educating students, so that we can guide you guys, make you aware with the latest technologies, the processes. So we have created accordingly the agenda of today's presentation. So let's see what we have in today's agenda. So in this, first of all, you will come to know about the insight of software industry, software development life cycle, current technology trends, languages, frameworks, and how to upgrade your technical skills, as well as we will cover at the end of this seminar the interview process also, and various job roles and what job roles are in demand, how you can prepare yourself to fit to those job roles. So yes, we will try to cover each and every aspect. So be tuned, and yeah, I will try not to make this a boring session. And after this session, you will get something which is going to be helpful in your career. Okay, so moving to next step, let's start. So whenever we decide to whenever you have decided to become engineer, and at that time also you have done so much research, like what colleges are available, like which college you need to join, which stream you need to join, and so on. You have done so much of research. Similar way, you should have a good idea before you enter in a software industry. So you should research about the software companies and software industry also, like which company you should join, and which and what kind of software, like what kind of companies are available, what they are offering. So all these things you should know first, and then only it would be a good thing to strike or get your first job. So first of all, which companies you say software company. So whenever we think, usually comes in our mind those companies who are providing software solutions or software services, they are the software company. That's correct. But nowadays the trend has got changed, the complete change. Even each domain companies developing their in-house software division. So what do you mean by, first of all, domain? Now we need to think what is domain, because people working in industry for 2 year, 3 year or 5 year also, they don't understand basically what is domain. So let's understand what is domain first of all. So like some companies working on telecom solutions, some companies working on banking solutions, some working on insurance or healthcare, energy or transport, and so on. So many work areas are there. So if some companies are developing any software to that particular domain, like take an example of banking. One company is going to create solutions of a banking domain. So the business logic of banking, for example, what happens in bank, like there will be a cash withdrawal. They are offering loans. They are offering other services also, insurance, and so many are there in banking sector. Even suppose it's a insurance sector. So what happens, there will be claims, there will be policies, you will be purchasing policies, you will be having claims, and so on, and internal so much processing they do. So when you work off for any company, the internal business logic also you need to learn, and then only you can develop a good software. So each sector nowadays working in different area, but they want softwares to run their business smoothly. So these all terms, whatever I'm using, these are the vocabs. Please keep this in your mind, so that when I will discuss the important development things, then it would be easy for you to relate all those things.
Sorry to interrupt you, Vipin. I guess a few of the students are trying to join this session, and the request will be at your end. And you need to.
Let me check.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope only one student were there. I have just joined. Okay.
Can you share the admin part to me so that I can admit everyone to join this session without any delay and interruption?
Okay, so let's continue this. So each software company can be categorized into sections. Either that will be a company which is service based, or that is a product based. So what is service based and what is product based? Let's understand in brief. So what happens when you work on, like, the companies who are working on their own products, no? That products may be developed using the survey, the data they got from the market survey, or they have their specific clients, or maybe to develop their own tools as per the market survey or their own tools. So those companies will be categorized as a what we can say, product based companies. If we say about some examples of those like product based companies, nowadays n number of companies are there. Like, you can take example of Oracle develop their own products, no? Like Java, their own product, and there are some Oracle apps also available which are all their own products. Similar way, we have Amazon, we have Microsoft. So what happens, like, if you say Microsoft, how you will say Microsoft is a product based company? So now we have like Windows, everyone nowadays using. So how Windows was designed, they have seen the user interface is very important for anyone, because there are so many operating system. You guys are from computer science background, so you can relate all these things easily, so that I will not go in the deep of operating systems and all. So there are so many operating systems like Linux, Unix, and other stuff. So what happens when you say the user interface, the beautiful user interface which is easy to use, then the thing comes Windows, the Microsoft product comes in our mind. So they captured their market, and they have published their own product in the market. So now if we say what is service based companies. So similarly, the companies who don't create or who don't develop their own product, or they will not launch in market, but they will fulfill the client's requirement. So what is client? The person, the company, like we have spoken about the various domains. So what is, like, suppose there is a company in the telecom domain and they want to have some software. So what they will say, they will approach to the software companies and they will provide their requirement, like, my requirement is this, and can I have the respective software delivered. So those companies who will work on these client requirements and develop project and provide the support also to them, they will come under the category of service based companies. So if we say some example of service based companies like HCL, Infosys, Wipro, and TCS, and so on, there are a number of companies in market who are providing software services. So nowadays we have seen the trend of startups and the hybrid model also, like the company who is providing products, they are also providing services. So these things are also very much in market. So this hybrid model is also very much adopted nowadays. Now, if you, in brief, I will tell, like, salary expectations and growth in these companies. So yes, in the beginning 2 to 3 years, you will be working as a junior software developer, where you will get so much of time to invest in yourself, because in the beginning of the years, the company will not expect much from you. They will be expecting like you should improve your skills, you just learn the domain, business logic, and how to implement. So that is the best time what you can invest after even getting job. So so you will be joining as a junior developer. Then with your technical skills and expertise in that domain, you can grow to the various roles like senior developer and lead roles also. So as soon you will be promoted to the next levels, the expectations from you also will grow. So I believe you are aware about the multiple schemes launched by nowadays in Indian government to promote software industry. One of the example is ISPR, Indian Software Product Registry. So what is basically is this? You can go to this website and explore more things. So this is basically a platform where Indian government is promoting Indian companies' products at the global level, so that the approach of Indian products may reach to the different globe, like over the globe, it can be reachable, and a best platform so that it can be the digitization process can be speed up. Anyway, a very important thing, like no one can deny in this pandemic situation, like everyone lost something or other thing. But yes, the drastic improvement in the digitalization process is also a good example. Like now, this webinar we are having on this platform, virtual platform. So that is the outcome, or that is the product of this digitalization process. So software companies adopting the WFH, like work from home culture nowadays, due to this pandemic and all. So now you have seen even government is promoting, and the so much opportunities available in the market. So if we talk about some data facts and figures, Indian IT companies provide around 8% of Indian GDP. Like that, this record is all latest. We took from various authorized websites, like Indian government websites on other authorized websites. So around 8% of GDP is involved from the IT industry. And also they have hired around 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh new IT employees in 2020. And day by day, our export also increasing in the software sector. Even they're saying like by the end of 2025, they are willing to add more 3.5 million employees in this IT sector, in the Indian IT sector. So hope now you are aware all these facts and figures. There is so much opportunities, ample number of opportunities available in the market to grow, to establish yourself, to establish and grow your career in this software industry. You can develop, like you can first of all you can work in India, and then you have so many opportunities even overseas and abroad also. So before to going and before to discussing something else, like I would just want to highlight few tech hubs right now which we have in India, like Bangalore, the Silicon Valley, the startup, or the capital of startup also we can say, because all if you go and research the maximum of the startup which started in India, they started their work beginning from the Bangalore. Although like the weather conditions also good here, so that is also a main point, because the foreign investors also like to be in Bangalore. Others tech hubs, if we say, like Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune and Kolkata, they are growing a lot and generating daily thousands of IT jobs. So although these are established tech hubs, we know very well, but Indian government and state governments are also now trying to develop new tech hubs in tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. in like we can have an example of like Indore is one of the city from MP, growing in the IT industry a lot. So many IT companies are approaching there. Even in Jammu, I heard like new tech hub is going to be launched, or it's under construction. Even you say like another cities, example like Lucknow, Gujarat, and small cities. And you understood like due to this digitalization, like WFH, yeah, work from home culture. So due to this, there is ample number of opportunity for you guys. I hope this all is like enough data which you want to know what all going on in IT industry, what the growth you have if you go to work in IT industry, if you become as a developer or any other IT professional profile. Okay, let's time to check, move to next slide and understand more about the software. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you again, Vipin. Can you just check if anyone is still looking for the session to join?
Okay,
There are
Pankaj, I
some
have
more
admitted it.
students.
Yes, Dinesh. So that's why I'm requesting Vipin to check and have a look on the session if anyone is looking to join the session. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's see what is software first of all. So like sometimes we say software as a solution also, because if we can solve any problem, if we can solve any problem with the help of technology or with the help of some software, then that particular product or solution will be called as software solution. If you read in books, like you guys are from technical background, like you have done BTech and other degrees, so we have read in the books like software is a set of small programs. This we like a small set of programs, when we will arrange, then that will become a product or software. Yes, correct. But how it is like exactly in the real world, how you will develop software and how actually it works. So that is all very important things which we are going to discuss here in this. Okay. So let's take an example first of all. If you think about 15 years or 20 years back, how you used to do the banking. So for each and every work you have to visit to bank, you have to go there and get the work done. And there used to be long queues. But what now banking companies has done, they have launched many solutions, many banking solutions, applications, mobile apps, and web applications. So what we can do max of our work done at your home or at your by using your even just phone. Like submit to cash. Now earlier we have to go to those banking branches and there we need to submit. But nowadays what is they have done the setup of cash submit or cash withdrawal, like ATM you are using frequently, and cash submission machines also, where we can go and we can submit our cash. Even like I will tell in Bangalore, like some companies have launched services, like if you log into their applications and submit a request to like submit the cash. So what they will do, they will schedule a pickup of cash. The guy will come to your home, collect the cash, and the cash will be transferred to your bank account. So these are the services which they like nowadays companies are launching. Same way, like if you take another example of hospitals. So earlier, if you want to get diagnosed or some treatment, so you have to go to a hospital, you have to be in a queue for a long time, and then after your turn comes. But nowadays, what is happening? There are so many applications of healthcare available. You can just book a slot or schedule your timing with the doctor, book your appointment, and at that particular time you can reach there, you will get the service, and in this way you can save so much of your time. So in this way we have seen So many software solutions available which are making our day-to-day life easy. So now let's look these all software from the angle of development perspective. When a developer will see, these are whatever we have discussed from the user perspective, like how user will be using all these things. Now, how any developer is going to see all these softwares. Okay, so if we talk about the developer perspective, any software, first of all, he will categorize them in some category of applications. So I will try to explain you here few brief categories, like the broad categories we can say. So first is like web applications. So whatever websites we have, like you have your college website, another person, small businesses they are running, they can have their web applications hosted, so that their reachability will be to the other people. And the another category comes as a mobile application. One most important category is enterprise application. So what is enterprise application? I hope many of you guys know, but not exactly aware about what is enterprise application. So you have seen there are some banking solutions which are used inside the bank. There are some tools and like employee management systems, and if it is an automobile company, they have their automobile registries and management systems and all. So we will discuss more about enterprise application. So these all comes as an enterprise application. So and another category comes as a standalone application. So those applications which are only developed for a single device or single machine, that will be running on a single machine. And one more category nowadays is very much used even in automobile sector, in electronics, and that is embedded applications. So nowadays you are using your refrigerators, you are like using your vehicles, and also we have in ovens, and so many categories available in electronics where we are using embedded application. And most probably you guys are aware of all these things. So whenever any developer will check any application, first of all he will categorize this application comes under web application, mobile, enterprise, standalone, or embedded application. But all these application again, one developer will divide in multiple factors. He will divide in multiple factors, like when you see any application, there will be front end of that application and back end of that application. That is very important thing, because when a user see, he will be checking only a few portion of application, what are the functionalities, how it is, how the user is able to use that and all. But whenever a developer see, he will check it as the point of view front end and back end component. He will divide that in front end and back end. When you see any application, whatever component visible, like we can say, suppose you go to your college website. So what you will see there will be images, text, some look and feel, and some notice or anything is going on. So what all these comes, these are all the front end component. These are the front end component of any application. That will be in terms of, if you say that is a web application, enterprise application, mobile application, and whatsoever. So every application can be divided in the category of front end and back end. And the actual these can be divided into front end and the back end application. But all these application also having another part which is called as back end. So what basically will be back end having? Suppose we have discussed about domains in the beginning of our seminar. So in the back end components, it will be having a business logic. What business logic? What application? Suppose there is a front end one form. You have something in form in the front end. Now where, like take an example, when you registered for this seminar, there also you have seen some form, there was some field, and you have submitted. So once you click on submit button, actually what happens at the back end? What happens at the back end? So there should be some business logic written at the back end, which will capture your data, convert into objects, and transmit over the network. So how these all happen? So that is done with the help of business logic and also the backend languages, which will be running at the server side. These languages will be running at the server side. Okay, so we will discuss about what is the languages. So take an example of any banking application. So suppose there is a one functionality, we can say calculate your loan. Loan will be one functionality. There may be a home loan, vehicle loan, or personal loan, whatever categories are there. So how the backend logic, how it will calculate, how it will pick up the parameters, like what it should take, time period, amount, and all, and the offering by the banking services. So everything will be implemented in the backend, and that will be done by the some backend languages. You can take some example of backend languages like we have nowadays in current trend, like Java, C#, Python, and R language. So these are the current trends which companies are using in the backend programming. And one most important part in the backend is database, which is hidden, but the most important part, because whatever data you send, that is going to be stored in the database and will be used by the applications, used by the different web applications or web services. These guys, one more thing, whatever terms I'm using, maybe I will not be able to tell you in much detail, but you can note down those terms, you can research on those terms, and if still you are not getting answers, you can forward us, you can write us queries. We will be happy to answer for every question. So whatever term I'm using, maybe I will not be able to justify here because of the time restrictions. So please at least make a note of them so you can research on them. Anyways, moving with the presentation. So here, the data whichever you will store, like whenever you have registered, the all data came to us, and with that, with the help of that, we were able to send you the invite mail and invite message. So this is all like you understood one example. Similar way, database also plays a very important role. We will discuss more about in next slides. So in my usually in my corporate training also, students used to ask like how to learn and how to start learning programming languages and all, and which language I should learn. So what I suggest, like now you know what is the front end of the any application, what is the back end of any application, and what is the database of any application. So when you say how you will be developing the front end of any application, so the first thing comes the basic web technologies, like we know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are the basic languages which can be used to develop your front-end component of your application. So these are the basic applications. Even once you are comfortable, there are so many frameworks also available for front-end, like if you say like Bootstrap is a nowadays so much in trend for the front-end application development, as well as we have AngularJS, React.js also in most demand. So these you can start learning from this. Now coming on the programming or the backend language coding, if you already I told you like we have Java, C#, Python, and so on. So these all things also you can use. You can start from here if you want to become a backend developer. Now the most important database part. So if you want to learn database 100%, you have to be good skills in SQL. No? SQL is a structured query language, we say. So you have already learned so many concepts in your curriculum also. So people are very much confused. I have seen when I was teaching, they say, what is MySQL and what is SQL? So guys, I will say, see, SQL is common for all. Structured query language. That is a language which is used to interact with your database systems. And what is MySQL? MySQL is a database server, or you can say a product which is used to store your data, So there should not be any doubt. SQL is a language and MySQL is a product, a software product, database software or database server, you can say. There are another products also available in market, if you say, like IBM DB2, Oracle, Sybase, and nowadays a trend you have like NoSQL also there, MongoDB are also. But where to use, how to use, there are lots of things which you need to research and which you need to upgrade in your skill set. Okay, now let's jump to our next slide. I hope you've gone. Okay, one more point, like we have here, like web servers and application servers. So this is also very important question. Even in interviews also they are asking what is the difference in web server and application server. So in beginning I have told there are two kind of application. One is web application and one is enterprise application. So guys, the site or the website or the solution, software solution, which having minimal computation, that not having so much complex computation, that can be achieved using your web technologies like HTML, JavaScript or CSS. Okay, so if you are using these technologies and building some software and deploying on some web servers, so those will be called as web servers. So if you ask some example of web servers, like you have Apache, Tomcat, and so many are there. This is the very much used server in nowadays in industry. And if you talk about application server, so from the name itself, it is very clear, the complex application, or we say the enterprise application, like we have spoken about banking application, employee management systems, or where lots of bulk processing, like complex business logic we are going to implement. Those need some business implementation as well as complex logic to be implemented while developing those solutions. So to process them or to launch them, we need some special servers. So for that, we need application servers. If you say some application server name like JBoss, nowadays it's open source server, you can download and you can practice on that. And IBM WebSphere is very common. Like any company you join, they will be asking what is IBM web server. They providing some console to manage their notes and all. There are so many things maybe I will not be able to cover here. Anyways, let's move to next slide. Okay, so here we will try to understand, I hope you have gone through in your syllabus also, software development life cycle. But here I'm going to tell you each and everything, how any software is going to be developed in a Indian multinational company or any software multinational company. The complete process I'm going to tell you. So here I will take the context of service-based company, how the work goes in service-based companies, basically. For development solutions, so client who are looking for any software solutions, they will approach to the software companies who can develop software. So and if they don't have tech employees there in-house, they will outsource their work. They will outsource their work because they don't have employees in-house. So first of all, what we need to do, first of all, we need to get the requirement from the client. And after that, we needed to analyze what kind of software looking, or what software solution they are looking. We needed to understand with various perspectives also, like the feasibility study also we have to do, how much the feasible, because client have some requirement. They don't know the backend technologies, what you are going to use and how you will develop. They just want a solution now should be delivered to them. So most of the cases client will be giving this just a requirement. Now your work is check it with the financial angle, check it with the usage angle, how many people are going to use and who is going to use, how many the load on that application, and what will be the mode of usage of that application. There are so many things we need to analyze, and then after, once the all feasibility parameters successfully passed, then you can go on the next step of requirement gathering, or after the defining complete process, you can gather the resources. So now what are the resources? If we talk about the resources, it will be a software resources, or the product resources, like what all things you will be using to develop that application. If you are using an application using Java, so you need a Java software. If you are using to be used on a web server or web browser, you need that web server, web browser, all these you need to arrange. And also the developers of that field, because if you want to develop on a certain language, take an example Java, so you need Java developers. So these all will be categorized as a software developers or Java developers. So these all things I hope you got. And then dev tools also we will understand in our next slides what is these dev tools and all. So after collecting everything, you are now set to design the software. So whenever we say design of the software, what comes in your mind? How it will look, how it will feel, and how images, where you will put form, where you put computation and all. But no, I'm talking about the technical design, like what all the entities will be in that application, how they will be interacting to each other, what will be the data flow of that in the application, what will be the use cases, business cases, database diagram, design, application, and everything. So we are basically talking about the internal technical design of that application. So once the complete technical design is ready, next step is coding. So now I think you guys understand how the coding also will be divided on multiple, like there will be some front-end coders, there will be some back-end coders, there will be database programmers. So what will be the work of the front-end programmers? They will be creating forms and visual, textual, everything, like or how the application will look, where the buttons will be placing components and images. Each all things will be done by the front-end developers and designers. The back-end, like actually what business logic has been implemented. Suppose it is a banking application, it is a financial application, it's an insurance application. Depending upon their functionality, what they want to be automate, which functionality they want to automate, they will be implementing all those things. And database developer will be designing the database schema, triggers, and callable scripts and all those things to automate process, so that the work can be done easily, and that software, once it is developed, should be very much helpful to those companies who has, or for the client. And one most important thing is testing, because once your software is ready, if you don't test, it's like you need to test that functionality of the software. So what basically we do in testing? So whenever we think to design any software, there will be some functionalities which we are expecting, or some behavior from the software which we are expecting. And after the development of software, we need to compare. If the software is behaving as per our expectation, yes, the testing is passed. Even the testing is itself is a very vast topic. There are so many things in testing, like type of testing, functional testing, non-functional testing, load testing, what are the tools are available for the load testing, and like the user-based testing. All the things it's a complete vast topic. That's why I have given hint, guys. Please make a note of the main points so that you can research after this presentation. Now, once testing is done, then our product like code is completely ready. We will be proposing, or we will be providing this software to the business testing. What is business testing? The client users will test on that software. Whatever the requirement in their day-to-day business or day-to-day work, if the software meeting them or not. So if you talk about the flow of software development, first of all, it will be in the dev environment, like your local machine or local development environment. Then it will be moving to test environment. After the integrating all the components, now you have developed front end, you have developed back end, you have developed database, all the things. When you will combine, they will produce a final artifact. It will be a jar, var, and EAR. So these final products we can deploy to the production servers, and we say application has been deployed. So always remember what is the flow. Whenever you join any company, you have to follow these all process. Even like testing part, if I say 100% testing of any software cannot be done. Even you need to provide support after the deployment to the production servers also. Maybe in runtime you are getting some errors, so you have to provide some hot fix or immediate fixes. So in banking sector, it is very difficult, because I have worked and I know they want immediate solutions to be deployed just in a few hours, like 1 hour, 2 hours, because if some problem or some bug is there in the software, it may cause a big loss to the companies. So testing is very important. Okay, now I hope you let's move to next slide. So whatever steps we have seen, like requirement analysis, feasibility testing, coding, and designing, then after deployment and post deployment services. So whenever company work, they have to choose some model, like they need to choose some model, how these will work. So these, like you have seen waterfall model. This is very old technique. Nowadays no company is using. So nowadays, basically, they're using agile methodologies and CI/CD development technology. So what is agile? Basically, agile comes as we will break our project in small sprints. There will be small sprint meetings. There will be we have sprint meetings where we can discuss, and in the presence of a Scrum Master, so that all the front end, back end, and database engineer can discuss their day-to-day work and deliver day by day all the expected work which is required, so that we can meet the timeline and complete our work. And the next approach is CI/CD development. This is very much used nowadays, because the companies, service-based companies, which are looking like day-to-day changes in your application, or maybe weekly release for their application. So what they can do, they can set up a chain, they can set up a pipeline, so that immediately it can be developed, then move to the integration stage, then move to the next stage where we can be tested finally, and then it can be deployed finally to the production. Okay, so I'll cut down it and try to because we are like running out of time. Okay, moving to next slide. So current trending programming languages and frameworks, what we have. So already I have discussed like the programming language, like we have Java, C#, Python. These are the languages. Even you understood, like, and if you say the front end components, you have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also Angular JS. Their frameworks like Angular JS, React JS, and these are in trend. Even if you talk about the backend frameworks like Java framework, we say, so there is a framework like say Spring MVC, and for the data persistence or ORM, we have frameworks like Hibernate. These are all trending. So basically, in short, I will try to explain what is framework. So guys, we have so many languages and technologies, but we want nowadays a rapid development of applications. So what is this framework? Frameworks are basically the applications, or we can say the application, semi-developed applications. So suppose these are the semi-developed applications extending the basic functionalities. So what will happen if you want to develop any application for banking, or want to develop for financial domains or insurance domain or healthcare, you can utilize the functionality and easily you can develop, very easily you can develop all these things. So basically understood, these are the semi-developed application which can be extended and created to the specific domain application. So now after this all discussion, you have got like understood the basic profiles. Also we have front-end developers profile, we have back-end developer profiles. There is a one more important profile nowadays you have seen in market, full stack developer. So what is full stack developer? The guy who having the capability of deliver complete application end to end. Like they having the knowledge of front end, they have the knowledge of back end, they have the knowledge of database as well as servers, web application, deployment, designing, each and everything. So those developers categorized as full stack developers. And the role and responsibilities also you understood, like the front end developer will be responsible to deliver front end components, back end will be developers to back end components, and database engineer respectively. Okay, moving to next slide. What students do mistakes, whenever they start working or learning, what they will be doing mistakes. So nowadays, if first of all you should choose your area of interest where you want to work, either in front end, in back end, or in database. So choose some certain area, pick up something, like take one language. Suppose you want to become a backend developer, so choose one language, either Java, either C Sharp, or you can say Python or R, or so many languages available. Work on that and then keep on adding into your stack. First learn backend, then front end, then frameworks, then dev tools, and all those things. So one more thing, like I have observed even in my seminars also, people ask question like they afraid of errors when they develop. When you do some development work, they are afraid of errors. So when they get error, they get afraid and they stop or they quit. So this is not a good thing, guys. So errors are learning. So when you will resolve any error, so you will get confidence to practice. And next thing, like nowadays in this digital era, you have so many development platform, tech platforms, like Stack Overflow is the best platform where you will get interacted with thousands of software developers. We will get thousands of developers who can resolve your queries. You can go there, you can post your queries, and you will get your answers over there. And also you can write to eConsoft in case you have any kind of queries. Okay, moving next. So we have basically here discussed so many things about software developers, development profiles and all. The related other IT profiles like software testing, what we have discussed. Nowadays the most trending profile is DevOps. DevOps engineer. So we have discussed development and to move your code from one environment to another environment and so on. So many processing works are also which needs to be done in the backend. So DevOps is a profile which combines your development as well as operation skills. So combinedly they say it as a DevOps. Now moving like database administrator or developer profile. And one more important profile is business analyst. So what is business analyst? So the profile basically works as a middleman between your client and your developer. So what client having requirement, business analyst will analyze and pass those requirements to the developer so that the final actual product can be developed, and he will be keep on monitoring the development process. And one more luxurious profile is data scientist. So what is data scientist? Basically the profile will be to forecast any data, to publish any data. We will be using all these things. So there are lots of things which I can discuss, but here you can note and you can research more on these things. Moving next to, this is very important for you guys, how you will be preparing for various round of interviews. Na? So you know, like what is software, like service-based companies, what is product-based companies. So you have to first of all aim which sector company you want to get a job. Like we know, like if you go for the product-based companies, they will be looking more expertise in your skill set. They will be looking for data structures. If you are using some object-oriented programming, they will be OOPS concepts. And if suppose take an example of Java, so the collections and so on, so many things are there. And one most important thing, guys, when we are working on a multiple developer environment, to keep your code, that is very important. So how you will keep safe your code? For that you need to use GitHub or Bitbucket. So many solutions are available nowadays where you can keep your code. So first of all, you need to prepare a good resume. Now, whenever you go for interview, you have to prepare a good resume. So good resume, what it means? There is nothing flashy you need to create, but you have to involve exact information, your name, email, and date of birth. These are the things why the recruiters need, because of they can identify uniquely to you, because there may be different the same name people, but these information are unique. Okay, so what you should add in your resume? First of all, the most important thing, you should highlight all the technical skills or the capabilities you have. And guys, never write anything which you don't know, because questions will be arising from your resume only. And the next important thing is you should add projects in your resume. Whatever you learn, you should implement in terms of small POC, proof of concepts, and you need to commit those codes. Better go and create your profiles in GitHub and commit your code. So even you can give a reference of those code repositories over there. Okay, and also while developing these softwares or in this POC, working on real-time applications, if you face any problem, you can use these Stack Overflow or web communities available. Okay, so anyhow, you have to increase your skill set and represent everything in your resume. And mock interviews are very much important. Try to create a group in, like, among yourself. You can have a mock interview. Somebody can role play like as an interviewer, another as a student, and then you can swipe all those things. Because in mock interviews, whatever you will prepare, that mistakes you can rectify in the live sessions of interview. Now, the most important things, how to search job. This is also a first question of students. So to search job, there are so many platforms available in social media websites also they are publishing. You can first of all go to that company website. Now, which company you want to join, go to that company website. There will be a career option. You can check all the offerings. You can apply to there. Even Ecronsoft team is also working in backend to provide our students, and even Yogananda College students, we will try to create some portal where we can post all these jobs. So we will work, and we will try to communicate all these information through mail or with Dinesh sir. We will try to pass on you guys. After these all technical, is the most important thing is communication skills. You need to the companies are not looking so much communication. You should be perfect in all these things, but the person should be able to deliver what he think about. If a developer, like even in industry also, I have seen so many people, they are a good developers, but they are not able to explain or express themselves, so that they lag in your career. So if you want to grow in your career, become the leaders, tech leads and tech managers also, please work on your communication skills, and that will be the first step to crack any job also. Okay, now let's discuss about some round of interviews. Like each company will be having their specific pattern, but what is the common process? First of all, nowadays they will go through the some screening process, online screening. They will be giving some multiple choice questions like aptitude questions, reasoning, and also they will contain some technical questions also. There nowadays they are adding some programming section also. The programs will be very small, but they want to check your programming skills over there. You can opt Java, C Sharp, C, or whatever language, and you can write program and compile also over there and test. Okay, so if you clear that round, they will be taking face-to-face or telephonic round as a next screening round. Once you finish that, the next round they will be conducting as a HR round or HR policies. They will be explaining about the company and everything. Now next, once you will finish all these things, if they are tagging directly to some projects, there is possibility of manager round. So this is a brief I have given. Any specific query regarding any specific company or their technical rounds or interview rounds, you can write us. We will be happy to reply you back. Now moving to next slide, the issues you face while interview. Like first of all, guys are so much scared out of interview. They used to skip them, and the most important is rejection. They are afraid of rejection. If I appear for interview, if I'm rejected, what will happen? So guys, I will say just work on technical and communication skill. Follow the company, what pattern they are having, and then you need not to like afraid of all these things. They are also, even I used to take interviews for freshers and also technical interviews. I have taken overseas also interviews. So there are some different patterns of resume writing and all. Those things also sometimes we will arrange some separate seminars, and I'll try to introduce all those things. So, and one more thing, like people waste their time. Like after completing your graduation, you will think, now I'll study, I will work. Now they will be wasting here and there. I will ask you guys, request you, don't waste your time. Start right now working on your skills. Even the guys should start working on their skills from the first semester itself. Okay, so don't miss any interviews. Whatever opportunity you will get, just go, because if you get rejected, that will be some learning, and after 2 to 3 rejections, you will come to know what or where you are making mistakes, and you can work and fix all those issues. And one day will come, you don't know when that day will come, and you can crack a job and establish yourself as a software developer or any other IT professional profile. Okay, moving next. So basically, we have gone through all the job roles as per decided our agenda, and how the software industry is working, what are the opportunities you have, and what are the job roles you have in the market as a software developer, as a front-end developer, as a back-end developer, or so many we have discussed here. Okay, so these all things as per the plan agenda I have covered. Because of the time restrictions, already we are running out of time, so I just cut down this seminar. But anyways, I try to cover as per the agenda as much as possible. If you like this, if you want some more information, you can write. With the help of Dinesh sir, we can organize some more seminars specific on that topic. So now to you guys, any questions, any specific questions, you want to ask anything, it's open to you. before we wind up this seminar.
Thank you, Vipin, for such a wonderful session. So now I would like to invite Director of ICT, Mr. A.K. Srivastav, to say a few words on this webinar.
Thank you very much. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Vipin Verma, founder of Chronosoft, and Mr. Pankaj Bhargav, co-founder of Chronosoft, for having a very nice presentation on career in software development. I would like to say a few things here.
I
That
guess they
particularly
intensive
because of the COVID 2019, in fact, so the people are telling the people, the computer people, to work from home. So this is in fact a nice opportunity for all our students, to understand that for the last 1.5 years, and even in future also, I hope that probably for some more time, the work from home will continue. And let me tell you that we have got the other, students from civil engineering, mechanical, and electronics branches. They have, this kind of the facility to work from home, and their jobs are not being affected. Also, the most important thing is that, because of this pandemic, in fact, the digitalization is taking place, and because of digitalization, people are trying that many new vacancies are coming up, and hope that in future, there is going to be a great demand of the computer software developer. So I mean, this is a good opportunity for our students. But let me tell you one thing, that as Mr. Vipin Verma has already said, that, there are the three kinds. Like one is the product, like the companies are developing the product, the other companies are providing the services, and then there is a hybrid company which is providing the product as well as services, both. So it is very important for all the students to do a survey and find out the companies where they are going to be very, very interested, and they will be more satisfied. So my suggestion to all students would be that please spend, particularly the final year students, that please spend a lot of time going through the websites of the different kinds of companies, and then make a choice. And more time you will spend in finding out about the companies, I think is going to make your job much easier. So there are many things which has been told by Mr. Vipin Verma, and for example, like software development life cycle. So these are the things which you study in your software engineering course, but also he has added many things. So I'm really very, very, thankful that Mr. Vipin Verma and Pankaj Bhargav have, presented this session, and this session was very, very informative, and I think that all the students must have taken the advantage of this, and this is going to be very beneficial and useful for them. So thank you very much. Thank you once again to Mr. Vipin and Mr. Pankaj Bhargav. Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much, Anup sir, as well as Dinesh sir. Yeah, thank you.
So I would like to say something on this particular part, like continuing the AK Srivastava point. Like this is a fruitful session for everyone. Like we are still looking for a job, and we all know like there's no IT company here in the J&K. So I guess this is a best opportunity to grab the things from the webinar and learn something and to develop our skills, enhance our skills to go there and to grab the opportunity. So now I would like to call Engineer Anupri to present the vote of thanks for the today's webinar.
Good afternoon to one and all present. I hope I'm really audible to you all.
Yes.
Thank you to all the dignitaries for their presence in this webinar. Education is not acquisition of knowledge but formation of character. Software developers are the creative minds behind computer programs. Some develop the applications that allow people to do specific tasks on a computer or another device, and other develops the underlying system that run the devices on that control network. We are thankful to our speaker, Vipin Verma, founder of Soft Private Limited, senior software developer, for their valuable session and sparing time for imparting our students with the knowledge of new technology trends and career in software development. The student gain the knowledge and skills in the area of software development. They get to know about the trending programming language, what are product based companies, service based companies, enterprise applications, what is front end component, back end component, and lot more. Thank you so much, sir. I extend my heartiest thanks to AK Srivastava, sir, Director YCT, to Engineer Dinesh Gupta, sir, President IIC Cell HOD CSCIT Department YCT, for this program, where students can enhance their knowledge and ignite the fire among them for achieving excellence in their future path. I take immense pleasure in extending my sincerest thanks to all the faculty members of CSC IT and the students for their enthusiasm in this program. Once again, thank you, Dr. Vipin Verma and his team, and wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anuprit ma'am, and thank you once again, Bipin sir and Pankaj Bhatia. We will utilize your services in future also.
Welcome, sir.
Sure, sir. We will be happy to organize other sessions. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, one and all present.
Thank you everyone for joining this session and have a great day ahead.